Alright guys, we are back. Welcome. We're at Summoner's Rift for the start of game number 1 of the Black Monster Cup. Well, I can't even pronounce words today.
The
Group
Krupp?
C. The Krupp. Yeah, that's not a word if you look it
I
up in
think
the
you pulled a
dictionary.
Frostgren.
Oh man. You're not on yourself today. Anyways, Wasabi Gaming, Cognitive Gaming on the Rift. This is double elimination, so each of these teams will have a chance to climb back out if they lose, but they don't want it to come to that as they pull a very safe start line of scrimmage for both these teams.
Just filling each other out, I wanted to talk a little bit about the lane matchups in particular. The meta has really shifted back to that 1v1, 2v2 as opposed to the lane swap. The lane swaps can still occur, although it looks like this game it is going to be the 2v2 in the bot lane as we kind of see, like you said, a basic line of scrimmage. Tristana Nami versus Lucian Morgana. The thing about the thing about Nami, when she really kind of took her rise, it was that OGN flavor pairing her with, hold on a second though, because there is some face checking going on from X-Smithy.
He's going to get blocked up by the Darkbind. Wards come out to stop any potential shenanigans. And yeah, back to the Nami pick. A little bit curious they go for that.
Yeah, I just feel like it's almost a counter to herself. I don't think she does well into Morgana at all. It's very easy to black shield the bubble due to its cast animation. Nami is I call her much more of kind of like a defensive base support. Yeah, she can run up and she can W you, but she doesn't create a whole lot of safe zone for herself, whereas like Morgana's going to stand on the back half of that creep wave and threaten you with the dark binding, the puddle, things like that.
Right.
Nami, she misses her bubble. She's pretty much like Luck. She's a sitting duck. The other issue, though, is that she has no potential to push a wave, whereas Morgana, has Tormented Soil. You're competing against the Piercing Light Tormented Soil wave control of Lucian and Morgana versus, Tristana's explosive shot and Nami's auto attacks. So I feel like the bot lane, at least for Cognitive, should be very much in control of Intense and Trance here.
Yeah, in the early game, they definitely should have that for the time being. Meanwhile, the top lane is just going to be a slugfest for a little while. What happens when a rock and a tree crash up against each other, we're finding out. Mid lane should be the focus for this one. I think Shorter Ace will make his way there sooner or later.
I feel like there's a metal song going up in the top lane.
A little bit of folk metal, something about that. Down in the bot side. Latman might find it a little bit hard to get this chase. Wow, Trance is actually pretty poked out. Yuno's doing a good job on that. And I think this might come down to the comfort pick versus, the straight strategical matchup between these two.
The other issue, though, is that, Tristana's E was nerfed, but that's why it's so incredibly powerful. It used to do ridiculous damage like level 1. You'd be, smashing people for 100 damage, you'd walk forward and just press E on them. And it has a dot with grievous wounds, so it cancels out any sort of healing effect there. Obviously, it got nerfed, but still incredibly potent. So what you should see from Tristana or Latman is he's just going to step forward every time that E is up off of cooldown and just burn it.
He's going to bait the Black Shield a lot, too. Look at Intense already taken down to half health, and Trance, he has plenty of mana in the bank, but still, they're playing with fire. Considering this is a lane that should be doing the most pushing on the red side, Cognitive is finding themselves seeding a lot of ground up. There's bubbles for days. That's a double one for
They don't have Tormented Soil yet. They took Black Shield secondary to counter the E damage and the Nami Aqua Prism. It'll get better as they get more levels. But for right now, it's a good read from Latman and to say, this is our chance where we're actually stronger than them and we can have control here. We need to get them down past half health, burn through their pots, so that way we can have further control as they start to level up and get these abilities.
But do you know? I heard that. I wasn't going to let it go by. Sounds like a song. Speaking of music.
It just makes me think of the card game, Uno.
We're going with Uno.
I liked it.
I prefer Dose, actually.
I see what you did there.
The sequel. Hey, run away! That's a rock. I guess he's made out of ice, but still, Dragon Raider getting hurt on. I don't think they'll be able to finish each other off just yet, but taking a lot
I don't know, he's going pretty hard.
Yeah, no Ignite. That's why it's a little bit safer. Also, you have X-Smithy around the side, too, so they're trying to bait this one out. Meanwhile, Trance is going forward in the bot Shorter Ace, focusing his attention there, but the camera wants to switch back up to the top. Could be First Blood either way. It's going to be Dragon Raider going down. No, he flashes, staying alive just barely, and it looks like Latman barely survives out. The double shot from Intense was stopped, thanks to Summoner Heal being blown. Trance is low as well, so just one kill, First Blood in the top for Wasabi.
Kill does go over into the jungle, however, so not the end-all, be-all for Dragon Raider there, as he's not going to have to compete with that 400 gold sitting across from him. Is going to go to Xmithy. Oh, careful, Latman. That was pretty close for comfort.
I think he feels very secure in the fact that Yuno can sustain him for a long time. That is the one really nice thing about this Nami matchup, is as low as he gets taken.
Lane.
Yeah, they're able to out-sustain Trance and Intense.
See how this changes on the first back, though.
Mid
Of course,
hasn't really
Intense
seen much
picking up
action.
that pickaxe.
Oh, Baby Zeus has dodged out every charm this game so far.
He's got fancy footwork. Baby Zeus is a very... you wouldn't want to stand across from him in that mid lane. Very mechanically
Shorter race coming
gifted.
in. Not enough damage. Yeah, he's extremely good. And when they tried to ban him out, that signaled they were very much respecting Baby Zeus and his champion pool as well. So the fact that he's still doing this well on Zed, which, you know, would arguably be like a third tier pick for him in general, still very, very good. Of course, Zed has been seeing a resurgence with the assassins starting to come back into vogue. Meanwhile, top lane, level 5 battle engage.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place.
And a tree.
I like how we were complimenting Baby Zeus, and that's the one time that he chooses to misuse his shadow.
You made him nervous. Don't give the guy stage fright. They've hit 6 now in the mid, so things start to heat up in just a moment. So far, it's only been Shorter Race making a trip here, but we might see Smithy in just a moment. He's coming up around the side. Wards are out, so this could be, especially with the Maokai roam now, Hate coming into it, could be a 3v2. They're pinging it out, seeing it happen. However, that's going to be Seraph trying to get out of there. Spirit Rush engage, and the charm lands onto Baby Zeus. He's in tower range, but Shorter Ace being chased out. Hate with the Vengeful Maelstrom, flashing forward, spurning the flash of Shorter, and they get out without anything but a couple of popped summoners. Smithy clears a Wraith camp on the way out.
A lot of resources expended right there. That was effectively a 3v2. Very nice sidestep from Seraph to dodge the flag and drag. Pretty much would have secured his death, and then he lands a very nice charm to stall up Baby Zeus getting involved on the rest of his team. Was looking for the death mark, didn't find it though. Very nice flash from Shorter.
Yeah, worked out pretty well for them. And looking at how this game has gone by, both these teams have been playing incredibly cautious. I'm surprised that there haven't been more kills just because they have been very aggressive, but both teams are kind of predicting the movements of the other. It's like a dance, almost, how they're managing to make this happen. Although Latman, be careful! Dodge out that Dark Bind, but he hits the Tormented Soil Trance Therapy, getting a little bit extra gold in the back of his pocket for that.
They really have to act on their cooldowns. You start to see now they're getting more control of the bottom wave there. But again, since they're competing with Yuno's sustain, it's very much about, okay, the W went down, we just threw our cooldown, we missed. They need to connect repeatedly and kind of push hard, because they don't want to play the poke game with the sustain. Her resource bar is kind of running out low. It's a very finesse balance here. I'm curious when they decide to go for the hard engage. Obviously, that level 6 coming up relatively soon.
Baby Zeus going to take a charm to the face, but Aerith Cruel does not have enough damage just yet, going for the DFG rush right now, only sitting on the Morello. Or, excuse me, only sitting on the Fiendish Codex. You had to level up your books, apparently.
That's what I did in school.
Get one
I
textbook
paid like
and then you
$200 for it, too.
Oh, man. Yeah, those were pricey. Then I discovered a Kindle. Whoa, Dragon Raider! Guess he's not so unstoppable after all. Hate nearly gets the smackdown on him, but here's Shorter Ace with the kickback, and that is the bait. Can he go in for the kill?
Ooh.
Hate's on the wrong side. Sapling going to land down. Dragon Raider pretty low right now, but Shorter Ace should be able to polish this kill off, just trying to stall it out. And he's going to not quite get the kill off. Dragon Raider picking up Hate 1-to-1 kill spread at 9 minutes in.
Beautiful Dragon Raid right there. Kicked him right over the wall into the tower. Said, here you go. Have some fiber. Balanced breakfast.
Some Weedios.
He was lucky, though, that Kenny didn't look for the one-for-one trade there.
Yeah.
Doesn't lose a whole ton, though, because the wave wasn't on his tower. That's why you see Shorter Ace right there, trying his darndest to help shove that wave and kill all that EXP. There he goes. Loses the wave now.
Yeah. Meanwhile, this mid lane is continuing to trade back and forth. Whoa, they're trying to dive on each other. Baby Zeus taking the worst end of that one, but the Death Spark comes in. Smithy, can he get the lockup? Flag and drags forward, and that's the kill. Going over to Baby Zeus. Thank you very much for the blue buff.
Seraph 2 over... I want to call him Seraph, but Seraph 2 overzealous on the charm. I feel like he has to be very cautious how he utilizes that cooldown. Obviously, Baby Zeus has the death mark available that he can effectively dodge it. which I don't know if he dodged it right there. My eye didn't quite catch if it went down fast enough, but I feel like if he had saved his charm when he reset, he possibly could have traded 1 for 1, but nice return from Smithy.
Dragon Raider with the teleport. They muscle themselves in on a dragon, and everyone from Wazabi Gaming scatters. However, wow, that nearly got stolen away. Smithy not quite quick on the jump, however, and that results in the first dragon of the game going over to Cognitive.
And that was pretty much all thanks to Trance right there to utilize the Soul Shackles as a zone. And very nice teleport from Dragon Raider.
Really good decision making too. The fact that they could have easily given it up because Seraph had gone down, big commitment to make sure that they secure the dragon too. And it looked like Wazabi just got a little overconfident in their ability to 3-man that.
What they do lose out to is the Lord of the Rings up in top lane, Kenny there with the triple Doran's ring.
Yeah.
Starting to build a bit of a sizable CS lead. Right now it's only 10, so not too shabby.
He's made up of rings.
But he does trade the top tower for the global objective on the dragon, so pretty much still even as far as the gold is concerned.
Looking for a kill, though. There is the approach, and Dragon Raider wants none of that. Again, continuous poke, but now with the Haunting Guys completed, Dragon Raider might be looking to do a little bit damage. Yeah, I don't know. It's level 8 for 8. However, they've got to kind of play this weird game of chicken where they've got ranged abilities but melee attacks, and they don't want to go too hard on each other because you never know when the jungler might appear.
I think Dragon Raider also recognizes that there's literally more golden creeps kind of pushing into him than is on IKEU's body if he decided to chase. It's kind of like, 100% guarantee that I'm going to get X amount of gold in this creep wave, and only maybe 50% guarantee that I'm going to chase down IKEU and get what that gold is worth.
Oh, baby. Luckily dodges away from the Q, and he flashes to avoid the charm. Could have been an easy kill onto him, but he gets out of that one just fine. Now Smithy looking to try and counter bait this one out. They see Shorter Ace sitting there in the river. He's going to back, though. And tower getting saved. Intense and Trance Therapy trying to make a run for it, but they didn't quite get it. So one tower advantage. Very slight gold lead in the pockets of Wasabi, but anything can change.
Definitely, especially since Baby Zeus doesn't have his flash, of course, just kind of misused his shadow.
Oh, Seraph! That was a charm flying wide to left field. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, Dragon Raider and Hate dueling it out. Smithy says, I got your back. Here he comes, and that is a rock running for his life. They are going to get this Twisted Advance, gets him stunned up for a second. He's going to be able to try and get out of there, but is he? Flashing forward, Smithy going to finish the job here, and they're just waiting one more second. Hate getting the kill on that one.
And of course, that was Smithy just recognizing that the unstoppable force would be used defensively to try to make a getaway, not opening up with his Flag and Dragon, making sure that he had it as a gap closer to chase down that rock. So great job from Jarvan.
Yeah, burned as much as they possibly could on that one, as well as the flash. And whoa, they get the lockup on Trance down bottom. Lapman going hard. There is a tidal wave, but Intense. He was exhausted. So was Lapman. There he has to get out of there. Tormented Soil burning his health down. Colin coming out. Stunned up. Can they finish the job? They don't want to take it right now. Double blinking health bar. And there's no more ultimate. Get locked up on the Dark Bind. They have to go here. And now, there is forcing the zone away, but Shorter Ace is coming in. Can he get himself up the double? Maybe they'll just settle for one. I don't know. And he's going down.
The teleport from behind Kenny.
Yep, here we go. Smithy getting the jump on his Seraph. He can't Spirit Rush out of this one. He's got it not on cooldown yet. Baby Zeus going with the double up, and they managed to pick that one up. What was Lapman doing? Shorter Ace going down, though, because Hate zoned him away. All said and done. 2 for 2 trade, but that was chaotic.
It's not quite over yet, though.
No,
Hold on a second.
No,
okay, Trance Therapy with that Dark Binding, he should be fine.
They really wanted to chase that out, but a really well-placed
There was
Dark Binding.
Huge miscommunication, it looked like, from Intense and Trance. You actually saw as Trance went in with the exhaust and came forward with the Soul Shackles, Intense had already backed off and then had to re-engage kind of with the back half of a culling right there. If they had engaged and utilized all of their cooldowns, kind of stacking them on top of each other, could have turned out a lot smoother for them. Fortunately, Latman, of course, some overzealous steps forward a little bit, but it's a new sub. Things are to be expected like that.
Yeah, a little bit overzealous, but they managed to pick up answering kills nonetheless. And they still have the time on their side. Wasabi Gaming should be pretty content with where they are, given the fact that they gave up an early dragon, or I guess a
well, they traded the tower for the dragon.
Yeah, they traded that, but still. They're 1-0 still. It's going to get turned around. Dragon Raider trying to put some damage on this one. They still have slightly better map control, and they're able to save their objectives. Here comes Hate back to the top. It's, I think, coming really down to Smithy just being where he needs to more frequently than Shorter Ace.
Oh, definitely. what, 5 kills in the game. He's had a kill participation of 4 of them, so
Yeah, 80%.
obviously making his presence known.
Oh, Baby Zeus dodging out. He's really good on avoiding these charms. Sereth, however, he's going to have to get the Spirit Rush away. Kicking Dragon's Rage, super effective. Shorter Ace coming up with the kill on the bait.
Chain CC'd, he had his ultimate available. I guess he must have misused his energy and might have not had the cooldown for it. I don't know. He died with it. That's unfortunate. Anytime you die with R.
Mark off. I don't think he expected Shorter Ace to be there. So as we're singing the praises of Xmithie, Shorter Ace comes up and makes a big play in the mid lane. However, Trance Therapy trying to make something happen on the bot side. There's the jump away. It's going to be Yuno getting stunned up, but the Tidal Wave comes in as well. They're focusing on to Trance. Now Intense in the front. And Latman is going to make them back away from that one. Dangerous, dangerous bot lane right now. Xmithie going to find Shorter Ace. Double buff battle. Not going to happen. Or jump away.
Really nice positioning from Latman. Although in the top lane now,
everybody's duking it out right now. They're putting on the gloves. Hate and Dragon Raider going at each other. Just a lot of slaps.
Slap each other.
This is really just like two. It's like Rock'em Sock'em Robots is what I'm watching.
I feel like it's like the Titans going at it.
Yeah.
Where's Hercules?
I don't know. It might be Xmithie. He's looking to make a play here. Flash forward. Flag and Drag gets the jump onto Trance Therapy. Knowing that he can't get Intense there, jump in Trance is all for dead. That's going to be Latman picking it up. Reset on the jump. And they force Intense to back away. Now Sereth, Death Mark up. The charm comes in. Baby Zeus, can he get enough damage? Burning. And he does it with the Death Mark.
And of course the mentality from Xmithie there, which, can we just talk about the fact that he flag and drags over onto Intense, but then switches it up knowing that Morgana Trance doesn't have the flash available?
And knowing that Intense can just dodge away. Yeah, perfect decision
and
making.
then transitions it straight into a Dragon, where they have the numbers advantage because, of course, Baby Zeus just got the 1v1 on Ahri.
Yep. Now, Shorter Ace could come in for the steal, but it's a very dangerous maneuver. He doesn't even attempt for it, and Yuno body blocks the Sonic Wave anyways. So they get themselves a nice little gold lead to push into this mid game and should be able to transition this to a tower if they push it fast enough.
I don't think they have the pushing power.
No, actually, it's more healthy than I thought it was.
Yeah. That said, so far in the game, like you said, Xmithie pretty much been the carry. It doesn't help the fact, at least as far as cognitive gaming is concerned, that Baby Zeus is pretty much winning his lane without a lot of interference from Xmithie. Yeah, he's done the drive-by a couple of times, but it's really just to find a counter gank, usually. So, unfortunately, Sereth not finding the matchup that he wants here. And even worse in the bot lane, Intense and Trance, this is when they should be winning. And the fact that they're not, the small relevancy window for Lucian is just going to get scarier.
Oh, but the baits, Baby Zeus, flashing away. Yeah, you're right. It seems like the plan of ban out the Baby Zeus has backfired miserably. They spent a lot in that bucket, and still you have 3-1 on Baby Zeus said, and he's perfectly content, even with the jungle focus, to just keep farming and picking kills when he can.
Speaking of jungle focus, Shorter Ace.
Oh, he finds Latman, goes in on it, can't get the insect kickback, and he gets exhausted. Perfect time from Yuno, and now they're completely wary of this. No need to worry about a thing.
That is the exhaust, though. Trance does have his up.
Oh, Sereth! There is the flag and drag from Xmithie. He has the ult and goes in. Picks himself up a kill. Baby Zeus burns, but he gets out alive.
Did that so quickly, still had his original shadow to go back to.
Yeah, that was quite the 1-2 punch. And Shorter Ace and Trance trying to come and defend this one. However, there's Hate. They're really focusing a lot to save this tower, and it makes perfect sense, but they're going to give up the bot for it. Now, Dragon Raider coming in for the answer kill. Tower is low in the mid, but they don't want to dive it just yet. Their siege is not the greatest, to be honest.
Oh, and neither team really has the greatest siege. The AD carries, of course, Tristana with her range and rapid shot. Intense with the Lucian, I call it the Lucian burn on a tower because it's kind of that 1-2 punch with this passive can burn through them really quickly. But they don't have a traditional anti-siege, really. Ahri clears waves decently, but it's nothing like a Ziggs or an Orianna. It's effectively the same thing that Zed can do as far as, time spent clearing the waves. Zed has to get a little bit more unsafe, whereas Ahri can step further back, but... When push comes to shove, I feel like the dive potential is also much stronger with
Oh, they're going for this. 2v3. Insect kick back, and Xmithie's taken pretty low. He's going to go down. Soul Shackle's coming out, forcing the flash out of Hate. Tries to get back in a hurry to his tower. I'll take the reverse collapse 1 for free. Thank you very much.
The 3-man roam squad between the support, the tank, and the jungler.
Yeah, they're just trying to pick kills where they can. 2 objectives, 2 towers in the pocket of Wasabi Gaming, and no answer just yet, although they're looking to change that. No minion wave to prove it just yet. They really have to start acting on something, though. Yeah, they're getting kills, but Cognitive has just not been as map-aware as Wasabi this game.
Fortunately, I actually like this mentality of finding skirmishes, kind of 2v3s, 3v3s, 2v2s, things like that, and find the matchups that win them favors, just because they don't want to fight the 5v5 right now, especially with Maokai, especially because Baby Zeus is so far ahead. It benefits them greatly not to really go for a 5v5. And Lucian excels much more in kind of smaller skirmishes as opposed to, full-blown team fights.
It's very true. And they have been picking the better fights. You saw that they waited and baited out the ward sit that Smithy was doing when he realized he had to clear it. That bought them just enough time to bring shorter Ace up there and make the big play, as well as Trance. So they are answering back for kills. It's working out really well for them. But they have to start transitioning this to towers, or at least dragons, and the latter not being available.
Technically, the most important objective on the map should be those mid-tier towers.
They're the last to fall, conveniently.
Cognitive has a lot of pressure points that they're dealing with on the map right now. See if Baby Zeus can get another soul. I feel like what they're doing is they're trying to draw resources from Cognitive over to the side lanes, give Baby Zeus a 1v1 on Seraph, and then, finally make that shove down for that mid-tier tower.
Oh, Smithy dodging out. Baby Zeus and Hate making their presence known in the middle. They're trying to push this one, but you're right. There's not a lot of great siege on either team. Latman will get up to it later on in the game, but for now, it seems like they're playing the stall game. They've got a 3k gold advantage, and they're just trying to keep it that way.
Definitely, because it's going to mean more and more as their composition starts to take over. Dragon going to be up in 1 minute. Should be the next big point of contention. We talk about how... hold on a second. Seraph getting a little bit too friendly.
The duel in the top lane again. We've seen this before.
I don't feel like this is going to go anywhere. He's got unstoppable force. I mean, the best Kenny could do is kind of, force him to burn it. But
smash.
It's got the Sunflower Cape. It's super effective.
It is like the Titans. It's a battle of nature.
That's how that works, right?
I'm pretty sure Grass type is strong against Ice type. And since he's wearing the Glacial Malphite skin,
Fun
Pokemon
fact,
rules dictate.
Ice is weak against Ice.
No, it's Dragon.
Is it Dragon?
I think Ice is weak against everything.
I'm pretty sure Ice is also weak
type.
against Ice.
Why would you even rock that skin?
Glaceon's the best Pokemon.
What generation is that? I lost track.
I don't know. It's what Ari reminds me of, though, especially with that blue buff.
Funny where inspiration gets taken from. So Dragon now, 8 seconds away. Here, have a sapling. They're going to go for the fight. Ooh! Dodge out that charm, and Latman actually baited out into using his rocket jump very early. He takes a bite out of his health bar. Gotta be careful here. They're looking for the collapse. Smithy getting charmed up again. A lot of poke here from this side of Cognitive. This is dangerous.
Here's the 5v5. I feel like the tank line is far superior on the side of Wasabi. I feel like the carries far superior on the side of Wasabi. It's just, in terms of gold, the fact that Baby Zeus can pretty much pick and choose whoever he wants to eliminate from that team fight. And he's got quite a number, probably 4 out of 5 of those picks. I think the only person he can't 100-0 is Malphite.
Oh, but this is nice decision-making right now. They go for pushing the tower, however. This is going to bait out the 5v5. Tidal Wave comes in, only landing on Trance Therapy, but they're turning their attention over to Dragon Raider. That's going to be a turret falling and all of the craziness, but still, Shorter Ace going in on Dimension. He takes him down. Dragon Raider helping out with that one for the kill credit, and they get themselves 4. There is going to be Sarah taken out of the fight. They turn it on around again. Coming up with the kill, and they answer back again on Wasabi Gaming. Intense, very close, double kill, over to Baby Zeus. Can they finish up with more? Intense is low, tower dive, engage, and they don't want to finish the fight. Hate finds himself without any friends, and that might have been an overextension. Intense going to follow up, one more hit from Dead, and he gets it. Uh-oh, hello. They're going for full now. That's the ace kill.
Everyone flashing.
That was incredibly sloppy, but a 5 for 2 is not the worst result. And they can take a dragon.
The mid-tier tower for it, so it's not like they fought over nothing right there. Might transition this into a dragon, although see how quickly Cognitive can get back into form, because it is just the Fish and Jarvan pushing this down currently, although looks like Baby Zeus going to finally make his way over there. Yeah, it should be for free. Okay, so 2 global objectives swing off that team fight. We talked about how effectively everyone across the board on Wasabi was... I don't want to say, just stronger, but, effectively just stronger than their counterparts.
Better focus in general. I mean, it was a good job to knock Latman out of the fight, but they had no follow-up, and then Sereth went down to the death mark.
It's also the damage threats. The fact that just because Latman went down, he's not the only damage threat for his team. Of course, Baby Zeus very fed 5, 1, and 3 right now. Latman's going to be doing a lot of damage regardless because he is doing decently on Tristana. You know, he's ahead of where he should be expected to be. And then Maokai right now, for how tanky he is and how much damage he's going to do, you know, if he's not diving 20 towers to try to kill you. Whereas, you know, Seraph taken out, not going to do any damage. That effectively leaves Lucian. Lucian's being chased out. So... It's an unfortunate place for Cognitive to be right now. I don't know where their options are. This should be their power spike, you know, the Bjergsen mid-game power spike.
Yeah, they really don't seem to be completely in sync with what they want to do, and you could probably chalk a bit of that up to some of the roster changes. Of course, it is cool in the mid. Whoa, Latman charmed up with the answer the damage back onto Seraph. And this is the power of Tristana. What mid-game deficit? Already looking very, very strong, very scary. And the focus is all on, not to mention Baby Zeus has got that deep threat too. Shorter Ace hiding out in the bushes, but he's not going to be able to act on this one as the jungle invade goes in. Should be able to get themselves some buffs. Up in the top, these two don't quit, do they?
It's really starting to get out of hand, though, on the side of Ichinyu.
It's like a personal vendetta.
Well, yeah, but Dragon Raider was doing decent, you know, kind of trading at least even, or being safe with her. Hold on a second, because
that was an early death mark. Yeah, gets out with the shadow and... Oh! Boom. I didn't think it finished him for a second.
Never expect the shadow.
Oh, here we go. Smithy going forward on to Sarah. There's Yuno in there. Oh,
ooh,
flashing the Cataclysm. Nicely played. But they are going to leave this tower a little bit vulnerable. Baby Zeus applying pressure on the bot side. Meanwhile, this mid, Dragon Raider coming around the side. He's got his ult available, and they scatter immediately. Smithy the target of focus, but the tidal wave comes in, and they look for maybe the dive. Smithy getting out of there, but it's a 4v3, and they have to defend this one. No minion wave just yet. So Cognitive's tower lives for another day. But Baby Zeus looking to change that in the bot.
And now the 4-1 split push. Again, talking about the versatility that Zed brings to compositions because, you know, team fights going great, that's fine, but we could also split push just as well.
And they get 2 towers
Super
out of it,
mobile
too.
champion, very safe, very self-sufficient.
Yeah, and he's able to 1v1 just about anybody. 1v2 even. Intense had no chance there. Now, the silver lining in all this is Seraph was able to back and finally pick up the DFG. But it's a little bit late.
Though if he hits Latman with everything as well as the DFG, despite him being behind, I'm decently sure that he could perhaps, maybe sorta, I'm pretty sure that he could 100-0 him.
True, but then you've got the deep threat of Baby Zeus, and he's 6-1 on Zed.
Yeah, but you're also competing against, the issue, though, is he'd have to get it all at once, because if for whatever reason there's any sort of delay from that charm, the Deathfire, things going down like that, you're competing with the Nami heal, the Buster Shot, the Rocket Jump, the heal himself. As well as the, never mind, with, if Kinney's is standing anywhere near him, just the Maokai ultimate alone. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I wanted to give it to him. I tried so hard. I was like, you know, maybe he might be able to still be worthwhile, but I think there's too many things acting against him. Like the fact that he doesn't have any initial upfront burst damage. It's pretty much that charm 1-2 go. There's like a 4-second window. It's not a dot, but, you know, Ari has to proc her Spirit Rush a few times.
It's true. It's a little bit more delayed. Ari more of a sustained full mage. However, the burst from the DFG will be a scary threat for them to deal with. But Wasabi
could reposition Latman.
That's
true. How about that?
You don't be involved in this fight anymore.
Sarah.
Yeah, it's okay. Oh, Smithy getting locked up. This could be a little bit bad. Tidal wave coming in. He's very tanky, and they decide to take this fight. 3v4 Trance Therapy going low. That's a teleport in from Dragon Raider, however. This is going all sorts of crazy. Hate comes in. Trance Therapy falling down. You know, on the backside, Smithy double buffs over to Seraph, and he's going to get himself a kill on that one. That is Latman going low. Gets blown up. Hate's there. They shouldn't have taken this fight. It's a double kill over to Seraph. However, Intense is low. Hate taking out all the damage, but he can't stand up for long. Pops his zone. He's going to fall down. Triple kill over to Seraph. Baby Zeus trying to make something out of it, but what a big turnaround on the 4v5.
Okay, what I will say about this Ari has effectively been kind of useless through the entire game. Of course, came up huge right there. The amount of resources that were spent trying to lock down Seraph and how he kited backwards from the fight, like what's worth more, your 2-2-10 Jarvan or your 3-5, or effectively at the beginning of that fight, the 0-5-1 Ari? The fact that Seraph was able to trade his effectiveness and his usefulness for Smithy was huge that fight. It didn't help that Baby Zeus was, of course, doing its own thing. It was a 4v5, but a very fair trade there.
Yeah, Cognitive comes up big, mostly off the decision-making of Wasabi. They decided to take that 4v, what they thought was a 4v4, but their positioning was off. They had already had Xmithy being chunked down, even if it was taking quite a long time. And then when the teleport came in, they realized they were too late and committed.
Teleport.
Yeah, Latman just got blown up in that one. They didn't have any peel for him because they were trying to go for Smithy.
It was the chase for Ahri that kind of drew out their team fight. It allowed some holes to be poked in. Dragon Raider came in huge on the backside of that.
Yeah, so it evens the game up just a little bit. However, still pretty big gold deficit for Cognitive going into this later stages of the game. They haven't answered more than one tower. So where do they go from here to try and get themselves an edge in this game?
More picks. They're a very pick-based composition.
Speaking
You have to think
picks,
you're playing with the charm. You're playing with the dark binding. They have, potential with the team fight because they're bringing things like the Unstoppable Force, the stacking of the AoE with, the culling, Ahri, and Malphite, but...
Solo Dragon, let's go! Baby Zeus grabbing that. Yeah, there's no map control on the side of Cognitive. They really don't have any way to take anything without setting those picks up. So as long as Wasabi plays this safe, it shouldn't be too troubling for them.
But because Wasabi don't necessarily have a true siege, like an Orianna, like a Ziggs, the fact that they have to try to break the inhibitor line by utilizing a 4-1 split push with Baby Zeus, that's why I think we're really starting to see this game stall out. It's very hard to break an inhibitor line. Like, this is typically where games stall out anyway. But the fact that it's with the Zed as opposed to a Ziggs is a huge factor.
Yuno's bubble might have stopped that initiation. But they have split push Zed, which is kind of a weird phrase to utter sometimes, but he is drawing the attention to that bot lane constantly. And this
it's taking a lot of gold out of the team fights of Wasabi, the fact that they are utilizing a split push. And if Cognitive is able to recognize when Zed's not there, but...
well,
oh no.
That's a Baron, and that's being pinged out immediately, but it's going down quick. Purple Worm looking very attractive. The members of Wasabi Gaming, everyone from Cog mobilizing to try and get there. Will they do it in time, however? It's going to be a 4v4. Teleport not available for Dragon Raider, and they make their presence known.
Dragon.
Oh, they force him to back off that. Brilliant maneuver. Hate's getting locked up. Gets Avengeful Maelstrom out. There is the calling to start the fight. Just zones them away. And Cognitive waiting to try and set up a bait. Meanwhile, Baby Zeus and Dragon Raider trading out. Can't get the damage on the rock. And they're still duking it out with each other over at this Baron pit. No skill shots landing. However, Smithy getting locked up by the Dark Bind. Shorter Ace bubbles up, and if they can get the damage onto him, there is the official initiation. Smithy going deep, but he backs out of it at the last second. That is the stun up. Shorter Ace getting the pick onto Latman. Got to be careful. He could go down here. Shorter Ace, however, is going to be the one to fall to start the fight. Latman's burning away, but Shutdown Gold goes over to him anyways as they pick up Sereth. Trance Therapy in trouble. It's a double kill over for Hate, and Wasabi Gaming running train on that engage. Could have gone either way. Here comes Dragon Raider.
He still has his ultimate.
Oh, he does. They don't have the damage, though. Wow. Twisted advance into Zani's Hourglass. Perfectly timed. Intense gets baited right in, but Smithy goes down. Hate taking the 1v2, and here is Latman back around the side. Dragon Raider, way too tanky. Baby Zeus gets Guardian Angel up and ready for the fight. Dragon Raider, nowhere to go. He burns his flash over the wall. Baby Zeus on the chase. Shadow's coming forward. He gets him out. That just happened.
You cut out. You were just so excited with your volume right there. At least on my end. I think you're fine on the stream.
Technical details.
Two huge things right there, because that was obviously a super exciting fight. The genius from Cognitive to send Dragon Raider, the teleport, to go and deal with the split push Zed. It's fantastic because obviously it's Malphite to Zed. What is Zed going to do? He can't 100 to 0, so obviously the only dual potential there. But again, the teleport, the fact that they went in, or Cognitive went into that team fight knowing that the teleport could have come through, that it could have become a 4v5 no matter what. Latman, huge blue suede shoes on that play. I wish we had replay feature because there was a beautiful buster shot from him. I don't know if you saw it, but he effectively had Lucian and Ahri dive back onto him, hit a buster shot on Ahri, but lined it up just so that it actually pushed both of them back and allowed him to come out through that. He would have been instantly dropped. I think he got out with like under 200 health. He was ticking down on the Ignite, and he happened to find a kill, which gave him the 5% bonus life back, which allowed him to kind of stick through the back half of that fight.
Yeah, Latman came up big in that one, considering that they got the insect kickoff. Shorter Ace barely pulled it off, and he sacrificed himself for it. The follow-up damage just wasn't there from Cognitive. That's the gold differential that's taking into effect. And the fact that Dragon Raider couldn't polish off Baby Zeus meant that the sustained fight was going to just result in Zed coming over and really making everyone's day a little bit rougher.
Dragon Raider did a great job, though, by walking to that team fight as opposed to teleporting, so they can still do the same thing should Baby Zeus look for the split push. But as you can see, it's actually iKineU this time, utilizing the teleport in that bot lane, trying to clear that wave up past river.
Yep. Didn't have the dragon timer. Now they know. However, not
See, immediately,
for it.
look at this. Baby Zeus now in the top lane says, okay, I figured out what we did wrong. Let's switch it up. Let's put iKineU into the bot lane. Of course, he's going to back now, then walk back towards his team fight. We're gonna keep Baby Zeus in the top lane so he's near the Baron, because obviously this is the point of contention. So that way it's not as far to walk.
He's drawn all 5 members, though. Well, you see Intense backing away. However, this is...
Intense backing away.
Backing away intensifies?
Yeah. I want to use the word backpedal, but it just makes me think of like a big angry football player just like...
Well, that's kind of what Dragon Raider looks like. Him and Hate have just been slapping each other up all around this lane. However, they're avoiding each other. Uneasy truce. Oh, Ward Wars. All right, this is what the game's come down to. 35 minutes in. Gonna clear ourselves some wards out, get that Baron control up. Ah, run. These are my golems now. Okay, we'll share.
If you're not going to fight over golems, what will you fight over? You have to draw that line somewhere, Pyra.
You have to stand up for what's yours. Meanwhile, pushing going on in the middle. That is Yuno, and of course, Smithy and Latman making the pressure known. Meanwhile, in the bot side. So they got a 3-1-1 going on now, and they are so sustainful between Zed and Hate. Baby Zeus really demanding a lot of attention, but so is Hate. Whoa, he goes in with the twisted advance, gets a Zhonya's proc, might sacrifice for this. Nice flash available. Lot spent on him. Serath's actually taken low. He is still sustaining out to the 1v3. They're starting this Baron. He's going to go down, but they might pick it up, however. It's going low. Trance Therapy, Dragon Raider know it's going on, but they pick it up, sacrificing one for the Baron buff. Excellent decision-making out of Wasabi Gaming.
And the read, of course, is the fact so many resources sacrificed to that bottom lane to take care of Kenny translates to a free Baron for the rest of the team. Who do you want that on? You want that on Latman, and you want it on Baby Zeus. So Kenny is A-okay with that trade. But can they utilize the Baron to break the inhibitor line?
Certainly going to try right here. They have pressure on their side. Late game Tristana starting to come into effect, although Latman has to be careful now. He had a little bit too far forward, but either trying to bait it out. Nope, not falling for that one. Dragon is now available, clearing wards as they go to try and make something happen. Banshee's Veil on Trance is popped as he goes forward. That is a very squishy Morgana. Smithy trying to follow up, forcing the flash away. That's a colon being spent. They don't have all members here, or do they? Shorter ace. There goes Baby Zeus round the side. However, it's going to be Latman has to get the buster shot to keep himself alive. Dragon Raider going hard on that one. Serath gets jumped on by Smithy. That's the Cataclysm for the kill. Dragon Raider all by himself, and Hate is coming into this one. They took the 4v5 straight to Cognitive Game and picking up a Dragon out of that, and then some.
That team fight could not have gone better for Cognitive. You think they got everything that should have happened. You had the unstoppable force directly on Latman's face, came directly followed by Shorter Ace getting on top of him. Ari was making her way, swinging around to get into the back line. Unfortunately, they didn't have the damage, but there was no way that could have gone better. They did everything correctly, and it wasn't enough.
Yeah, big gold deficit. The Baron buff certainly helping out. Now they're just going to be able to dive the backline, taking out inhibitor turret number 1, marching towards that inhib Hate. He's just a giant brick wall at this point, and he might get some damage out. Intense, he could go down, he does. Shorter Ace having to run back to Fountain. Shut down gold on Hate now. And this is just looking out of hand. Cognitive Gaming, way down in the gold hole, have no idea how to get back into this game, and they are just way too strong on the 5-man here with Wasabi.
It's game, set, and match. It's now more about what will Cognitive take from this. And likewise, if the other teams are watching,
well,
will this Maokai ban?
Yeah, they might have to. Baby Zeus staying alive. They really just want one more kill on him to end it out, but Dragon Raider can't quite do it. Hate on Shorter Ace. They don't have enough damage. It just isn't enough. They managed to pick up Hate on the outside, and they're just going for kills here. Jump in. They're just making this look a little bit easy. Dimension, Latman coming up with the kill. No more minion wave available. They can just tank this out, end the game right here. So Wasabi Gaming will move on in style to the winner's match, whereas we have Cognitive will have to face off against the loser of our next match. But that is GG, game, set, and match, 39 minutes, Frosk.
We talked about this in Champions Select, how Wasabi Gaming had a very balanced composition as far as, their power spikes, the fact that they had good early, mid, and late game power. The win conditions for Cognitive Gaming's composition was really was pretty one-dimensional. They had to win in the mid game, otherwise it was kind of bad news bears for them. And unfortunately, everything just started going downhill on that second dragon fight. They didn't win the lane phase, a lane phase that was heavily favored to them, and things just continuously spiraled out of control. Of course, Sereth taking his place from AD carry, now trying out that mid lane. 8-1-5, his lane partner across from him.
Oh yeah, that is a futile effort to ban out Baby Zeus. Really ended up giving them the Zed pickup, and I don't know, maybe Assassins are back, but maybe it's just Baby Zeus. That was some masterful play.
The other issue, though, is that they had purple side, known as, the counter pick side, and they didn't counter the mid lane. They effectively got countered with that Zed pick, so that was also curious. The fact that the Maokai pick got all the way through to second round picks.
Yeah, that was very strange.
I feel like it was a failure in the pick ban phase, honestly, but they have a second chance.
They certainly do. Of course, they will have to see who they go up against. The next match scheduled is going to be Area of Effect versus XDG Virtus, so guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be taking a quick break. When we come back, that game up for you. Winner, of course, will go ahead and face off against Wazabi Gaming. The loser of that game is going to take on... is going to... I'm like losing my mind here. The loser of that game, of course, is going to take on Cognitive. So guys, we'll be right back. Again, enjoy the break, enjoy the tunes. You're watching the Black